Alright. What's going on, people? So, I have some things that I would like to talk about. First of all, I just want to say, even though I was talking a lot prior to Kendrick coming out, and I was saying, where is Kendrick? Where is Kendrick? I want people to understand why I was saying that. The reason that I said that is because Kendrick is the one that initiated all of this. Therefore, since he initiated all this, I just would have assumed that he would have been more prepared and ready to really get into some war style tactics. And he just had some different tactics. Um, and I was just curious to see how he would get active. So many people just gave him, like, there were people, and that's partially what I'm here to talk about. There were people who said that Drake was down and that Kendrick was up 2-0 when Kendrick hadn't even released anything, and Drake had released 2 songs. So, with that being the case, I just wasn't understanding the logic and just the thought process behind people just giving Kendrick the battle when we've never seen him active, but we've seen Drake active plenty of times. So that was just my stance on things. It's like I don't doubt Kendrick. I just want to see Kendrick active. And he over delivered. So we had a whole emergency live yesterday where we talked about the song and we talked about how good it was. But I didn't recognize all of the layers. There's things that I'm still kind of like uncovering. Some stuff. I've had a lot of people in my inbox sending me videos of Drake's cat name and all of that stuff. I'm not here to talk about that one, but it's some stuff in there. Um, and the latest one, I kind of feel like Kendrick is painting Drake as a rat. There was a bar. It was 2 bars that I believe that are connected. Where he said, "Got a Benjamin and a Jackson inside my house, like I'm Joe." Okay, I want to say that he this is just me, and I ran it back past a friend, and he was like, "That makes sense." I want to say that he was looking. He's kind of looking at it like hip hop is my house, and Drake lives here. He's my son, and he's also a snitch because being Michael Jackson was a rat. And then when you connect that to some, I know some stuff that'll make Gunna Wanna look like a saint. That's interesting. So I just wanted to say, the more I listen to this song and I uncover stuff, there are layers here, and not joke. Drake joked about the quadruple entendre, and I don't know about quadruple, but there are at least triple entendres in this song. So this song is nothing to be taken lightly, and that goes to I'm here to speak. I've said multiple times that I believe that Drake should not engage further. But I said that before, but before I even seen, I said that before we even got a song because I was seeing how people were gassing Kendrick before we got anything. So I'm like, you are already in an uphill battle. And this is the first time we ever seen that because Drake is normally on the other side of the uphill battles. So it's interesting to see the people take the side of Kendrick. What's the layers are cool, but we don't want to hear you say nigga no more. The way you attack is the way. Yeah, it's exactly how you attack people in beef. Rez, shout out to Rez. He was in the live with me. Didn't have to, but jumped on the emergency power with me yesterday to the point where I didn't even feel comfortable asking you to jump in here tonight. But if you feel the need to, you can. But didn't even feel comfortable asking my boy to jump in here today. But anywho, um, I felt that way about Drake, but now the more I listen to this, I believe I really feel like both of them have nukes on each other. Because I just see how confident Drake is, and we hear how confident Kendrick is. Like Drake is confident, but it makes me wonder if one of them is bluffing, and if Drake is the one bluffing, I think he might want to bow out. I don't know. Can someone actually take Drake now? But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. I brought it up to see the culture, and I wish that the culture would just take the stance that Kendrick took. Kendrick said, "I'm the biggest hater." He called it what it was. He said, "I hate the way you walk. I hate the way you talk. I hate the way you dress." Um, and so in saying all of that, I'm seeing a lot of people just down Drake, and I love being a fan of Drake and Kendrick to the point where I can really be objective and just enjoy what we're getting. But I clip the live streams up, and then I put the clips on all social media platforms, and I've been going back and forth with Kendrick stands for weeks now. But it's just some of the stuff that just seems very disrespectful. Like someone told me that I was glazing earlier. Somebody told me that I'm something else that I'm not even going to repeat. And it was in me saying that Kendrick's last album was not a classic. I stand on that. Like well before this beef came around, I said that well before it. Like, and I listen to that album periodically because I want to like it, but I just don't. It just is what it is. When it comes to Kendrick, he has four major released albums, five albums if you count Section 80. So if we count Section 80, I want to say that he has four classics. I definitely say that. Well, and it's not. I want to say it is. He has four classics in my book, but Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is not one of them. So what's wrong with me saying that? But I had multiple people tell me that Drake does not have a classic. And so in the video, in the clip, I named what I believe to be the classics. I said, "So Far Gone," "Take Care." And I said some would say Nothing Was the Same. I would say Scorpion This One is a classic. And on top of that, some would say that Views is a classic. I think that's an album that aged well, but was polarizing at the time. So to see all of these people, like someone told me that told me that I was out of my mind and that I was glazing, and um that So Far Gone is not a classic, and I'm like, what? That has to be Gen Z or what's the other one? Gen Alpha. Like it can't be a millennial. Like So Far Gone is a classic. Like a lot of the other stuff you can sit back here and knock. We ain't knocking So Far Gone. So to see that, I just wish that everyone else would just come out like Kendrick said. I'm hating. I'm the biggest hater. Like, but don't just sit back here and try to act like you're not a Kendrick stan. Don't sit back here and act like you're not a Drake hater. What did Drake say in in push-ups. They make excuses for you because they hate to see me lit. And feel whatever you want to feel about Drake's music. Feel whatever you want to feel about Kendrick's music. Like I said, I enjoy them both. I identify with Kendrick's music more, but it's just the racial aspect that comes around it. One of the things that I would like to say is, so we sitting back here and I kind of don't even want to go there, but in hip hop, I just say in hip hop for the longest, it's like people pick and choose when they want to fight these battles. So we're sitting back and attempting to say that Drake cannot say that word anymore. And it's like, okay, well, if you want to play those games, then what? And here this man go. If you want to play these games, then who else can't say the word? Because I and one other person that I know have been saying for the longest, what about the Cardi B's of the world? What about the Fat Joes of the world? These are individuals that have been using this word for with Fat Joe for decades, and Cardi B, I would probably say for decades also. And it's normally New York individuals, or whatever the case is. But my thing is like, it's it's weird. And I even wanted to bring up something. Let's see. I Since I'm on stream by myself, y'all gotta deal with me pulling stuff up. Um, because I was curious about something. Let's pull up a new tab. We're gonna share that tab. And let's see. To Pimp a Butterfly. I want to look at this album. What's the name of his first single from there? I wanted to say, I said I love myself, but the name of it was I. So I put in I love myself. So let's see. Ken Jig Lamar. Lyrics. I want the album version. Let's see. Can I find album? There we go. And so on the live stream yesterday, I talked about Kendrick over his career being someone that I enjoy, but when I hear him, I hear someone that's confused. So him saying that he don't want to hear Drake say the word anymore. Earlier, I thought about this. So I promised Dave I never used the phrase "f nigga." He he said, "Think about what you're saying, f." And so we see all this stuff. Oh, how the infamous sensitive N word controls us. So many artists gave an explanation to hold us. Well, this is my explanation straight from Ethiopia. And then he starts talking about niggas. So at the time in which this came out, you would have thought that he wasn't going to use the word anymore. But he continued. And now here we are. Now I'm not gonna lie, there's a post floating around that I thought was kind of I I knew once I listened to this song, I knew that he was going to open up the door for a lot of conversations, and I thought he was going to get some criticism. Hadn't seen much criticism. There's some things that I brought up and said that he was going to get some criticism about that I've seen in small circles, but I hadn't seen anything big. For the most part, it seemed like people are going with him, and I think that is dangerous because I saw a post with a list of all the people that they said cannot say the word anymore. And I will say, I agree with some of them. Uh, like I said, the Cardi B's of the world, the Fat Joes of the world, and even though I, I, I I feel personally, I'm not even going there. You know what? I should probably just end this screen before I get myself in some trouble. But I just think that this is interesting. The angles that Kendrick chose to take, and I also think that some of them are going to backfire on him. I really do. Um, I think me and Rez both said yesterday that Drake will probably be back tonight or tomorrow, he's gonna come back quick. But the more I listen to this Kendrick, he need to take his time. And I'm not saying that it's not there. And that's the thing that's what I got on here to say because I think some of y'all like forget like just how active Drake has been. But I will say that this is the first time that he's had such a formidable opponent, and we seen him struggle with Pusha T. So even though I feel like Pusha T gonna have a problem with that Kendrick line, it was correct though. You better spin on him again before you think about trying me. So if he get in that stamp bag and it's, was it 4 a.m. or 4 p.m. in Calabasas or whatever time it is and wherever it is, like if he gets in that bag, that's the bag he gonna have to be in, and maybe even a level above that. I believe the boy has it in him, but this Kendrick, it really has layers behind it. You have to listen to this song a lot. Like I've heard this song, I know a good 20 times, and it seems like every time I listen to it, I get more and more from it, and it's what Drake asked for. He said quadruple entendre, and I'm pretty darn sure that he gave us one. So Drake, you better what is his spot called? The Embassy. You better be locked in that studio in the Embassy for the foreseeable future. You better add some stuff. That's all I got to say. But I do, you know, I just want for people to actually look at it in a manner in which it's supposed to be looked at. Like I will say now beforehand, now that he's delivered, I say that people have a reason to be thinking the way that they were thinking. They didn't have a reason for it before, but they definitely got a reason for it now. Um, and yeah, we'll see. This can. I'm curious because both, like I said, both of them sound confident. I'm curious to see where this goes. I see the angle. I see a couple of angles that Kendrick is playing on. Like even the point where it seems like he might he put a lot of stuff in there for Drake and Drake only, but it's stuff that we can decipher. So it sounds like he might be possibly about to say that one of his biggest songs ever was ghostwritten. I know he played on the fact that he has continued to use ghostwriters. I don't know nothing about all that. But it sounded like he was about to go there and say that one of your biggest songs ever. I'm not even gonna bring that's for y'all to go and pick up on your own. But it sounded like he said it. So I'm interested to see where we go from here. And I do want to dispel something because he tricked me too. But I see a lot of people out there saying that he tricked me. And what if it's back to back? Y'all, you said it. That's what it sounded like he said. Uh, uh, Around the part where he said, you sent a cease and an assist on. You sent a cease and desist on the like that record. What, you don't like that record? Back to bite. I like that record. We we'll get back to that for the record or whatever he said. But it sounded like he was just leaving a clue, leaving something there for Drake, and he didn't want to go further. It's a couple of times where he just kind of hinted at some stuff and didn't go further, even to the point where early in the one he said it like, I'm that's a random act of kindness. I'm not even going to expound upon that. So just consider that kindness. So yeah, um, I don't. But the thing is that I don't. yes, he did kill Drake in a million ways, but I don't really think he killed Drake. I think it was jabbing. It was just he was really jabbing him, like combinations. It wasn't a killing. The killing is yet to come. I don't know who's gonna kill who, but the thing is that I don't think that people are counting Drake out as if he's not capable of killing. When we've seen him kill, he just killed Lord Caliber, but we've also seen him get killed too. I mean, push his teeth, and that's the dangerous thing. That's one of the things that I said to a friend in the conversation earlier. Like Kendrick said, "You're the one that likes being famous. I don't like being famous." And the way that Kendrick has set his life up, like even back to the fact of Drake's cat being named Crody, like you can't find information like that about Kendrick because Kendrick doesn't do interviews. I don't think that Kendrick has done an interview since he might have did one for Damn. I think he might have did one with what's the old boy name from Apple? He might have did one. Is Rob Lowe? Zane Lowe? So some I forgot who it was, but yes, he did. I think he might have did one, but if not, I think the last time he did press was To Pimp a Butterfly. You got somebody that you can't even find information on, but we clearly see that this individual is calculated. It's like he's been sitting in a room for the last month just consuming Drake information that he can find on the internet when you can't find much on the internet about Kendrick. And that's the same thing that he put himself in that same position with Push too, even though I don't gas it like everybody else. That Push beef wasn't a Push beef. He was getting at Kanye. He had an issue with Kanye. That's one of the reasons why I said not too long ago I had an issue with Kanye coming out like he want to come out outside when everybody come outside. But he was dishing Kanye on Duppy, and he dissed Kanye the whole Scorpion album, and Kanye didn't say a word. So um that was that was a Kanye thing, and he had all the ammunition in the world for Kanye, but he had no ammunition for Push, and that's the dangerous thing. Like Push is outside, you just don't have information on him because he's still guarded with them being outside. Kendrick is inside with no information, so this is really dangerous for the boy. I'm not gonna lie to you, because like I say, the more I listen to this Kendrick junk, man, is that Pusha interview on the Joe Budden podcast may have been why Kanye ain't speak. What I watched that interview, but remind me of what you're talking about. What I remember from that interview is where he was like what he say? He say that, I done came, Drake done been over there, and when he come over there, like, I just exit the room, or I make sure that I'm not over there when he's over there. That's the stuff that I remember from that. But even, in that moment, like in that time, like after the beef, like you got Cole, not Kent Cole, you got Kanye on record saying that, I I wish that I could just have Drake. Drake is like 12 of my writers. So I mean, it's a reason why he didn't say anything about push new narrative on their beef, and how Pusha find out that he had a kid from 40 Pillow Talking. Yeah, that's what Push said, but Drake always believed that it was from Kanye because Kanye knew. So yeah, that's what Pusha said, but I don't know. That's hard for me to believe that put 40 would be talking about Drake's kid to a woman. Like it's more believable for me to say that he got that from Kanye. Um, but hey, It is what it is. But yeah, Kanye never said anything, and that could be the reason why he never said anything because he felt guilty about it. If I'm Drake, I'm believing Push in private and claiming Kanye in public. I'm not mad at that too. I will say that I was looking at some credits and stuff, and it's been a while since I seen 40 around, but that could be because of his health condition also. So I mean, hey, it is what it is. Um, but this is interesting. I tell you, the most interesting layer of this. Um, you know, I got that bar, the Parkinson disease and stuff like that, but I didn't know. I mean, I thought they was talking about what's Drake's daddy name? Is it Dennis? I forgot. Whoever Drake's dad name. I thought that was who he was talking about. Your daddy was a killer. If he's talk the theory that people was talking about, he's talking about Jay Prince and Jay Prince Jr. I'm looking at that differently now and wondering if that's what caused all of this beef because Atlanta, Takeoff, Atlanta. And I remember, Drake always pushing mob ties and all that type of stuff. But around that time, I remember people questioning, is Drake going to go to the funeral? Migos is your guys. Mob ties is your guys. What do you fall on this? And people saying that he bet not go to the funeral. And so now that I'm looking at it, now he's having these issues with Atlanta, seemingly outside of 21 Savage. And even with that, 21 Savage has been quiet since all of this stuff has gone public. And I was thinking about it the other day. Out of all of this, 21 Savage is the smartest individual, the most intelligent individual of all 2024. That man dropped an album before all this stuff happened and got out the way. Did all of his press, all his press runs, did all of that stuff. It was starting to bubble around the time of his press run, and I was watching it. I was watching it because I was curious um to see what side he would fall because I've heard him in he's in a very interesting position. I've heard him say in interviews that I don't pick no side. When he was talking about Kanye and when he was talking about um Kanye and Drake, he was saying, I'm a loyal individual. Drake's my guy, so you wouldn't see me over there with Kanye going to all that other stuff because I don't pick sides. So to see your guy versus your guy, Metro Boomin and Drake, they were already feuding at that time, which I thought it was interesting because Metro brought up the fact that, my album didn't get this credit and all that type of stuff against her loss. And I'm like, but 21 is on her loss. So I thought all that stuff was odd. And then when you get 21 does his press and go on Club Shay Shay, and he was like, I wanted the spelling bee. And then you have Metro Boomin pick at that. And I was trying to figure out, is this a serious pick? Or is this, oh, I'm joking with my friend. But 21 has been silent. And in this situation, it's two people that I've said. 21 has kept himself out of the situation. And I'm pretty sure that Young Thug is probably happy that he's in jail right now. I know he don't want to be in jail right now, but he probably looking at it like, well, if there was ever a time to be in here, hopefully by the time I get out, all this stuff be done blew over, and I just get to come outside and be friends with everybody. But yeah, 21 Savage dropped his album, did his press, and got out the way before all that stuff happened. And making him look like the smartest person in 2021. So he was basically on that club session, acting like he was a genius. The boy might be a genius. But anywho, man, that's all I wanted to say. Jazz, you got me in here longer than what I was expecting. I was just about to get up out of here until I seen your comment. But yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Drake got his work cut out for him because yeah, man, that Kendrick one, I was ready for people to come in and gas in it, but nah, it's what it is. It's definitely what it is. People are still gassing it though. You got some people like I'm talking about the gas and what people point out stuff that's not there. And I know somebody can probably say the same thing about some of the stuff that I said today, but I'm talking the stuff that I said today is within reason. Like it's some crazy theories out there, and they need to stay. Stay them are theories that is not gonna be proven to be factual. Uh, I'm not ready for Drake. I want Drake to take his time. He gotta take his time. Gotta take his time. But anywho, yeah, I appreciate y'all jumping in this live with me. I'm pretty sure we've been going live on Tuesday, not on Tuesday, on Mondays at 8 o'clock. That's what we push for every week, Mondays at 8 o'clock. But I can pretty much we've been having these emergency pods, even though today wasn't an emergency pod. It's just what I felt like jumping on here and doing, but yesterday was. So if Drake comes again, I'm pretty sure we're going to end up doing an emergency pod. Anytime anything happens, we're going to end up doing an emergency. But I don't hope to see y'all until next Monday. So hopefully Drake can make it easy for us and drop on next Monday. That'll be great. But anywho, once again, appreciate y'all. Good night. I'll let y'all later.